Hi guys, gonna do a quick fish room update before the lights go out. I don't always shoot this tank in depth because I've been waiting for it to grow out and really waiting for it to mature into what it is, but it's looking really crystal tonight, so I am gonna zoom into these serpes. They're looking super red, and I got some new additions in there. I got some blue rams, so let's check them out and we'll check this tank out. The lights are going to go off, and I'm just hoping it's not in the middle of this video. There's a ram back there adjusting to this tank. I mean, the vegetation's looking awesome. These serpes are looking awesome. They rule this tank. I mean, look at this fish compared to the size of a ram. There's a big beefy male back here, and he looks a lot better than that other girl you just saw. Well, if I could film him. He's kind of settled in behind that rock, which I think is cool. That's a good spot for him. Oh, come on. There you are, buddy. Still kind of acclimating to this tank, but I like those two guys as additions to this tank. I mean, the clarity of this water tonight is crystal. See that rotella just reaching for the light. That's kind of why I wanted to get the camera out. And the fact that these serpes are just looking so red and so mean looking. They're flaring up a little bit. And they've just been in here for so long by themselves. This school of serpes, 8 of them. With the addition of the rams, they kind of got their guard up. Even though the rams are about the same size as the serpes, I mean, they're gonna grow, and you know, they're cichlids, so I'm definitely not worried about these guys. They're tough old fish. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a female. She's looking sleek and petite, like the females do, and not much really color on her right now, so it's hard to tell. Gotta get a better angle. Yeah, that's the gal. Check out the MLT right below her. It's my vacuum cleaner. I'll zoom into the sword, and then I'll keep rolling because I do want to kind of cover some of these tanks. This tank turned into a decent looking setup by just adding some extra plants to this 10-gallon, you know, that I had growing out of some of my other tanks. I got some zebra danios in here, which are, you know, cool fish. I also added some tetra, some bloodfin tetra, which are cool. See if I can get down here. Check out these little fishies. I just think the tank's cool looking itself for just kind of throwing it together. It's got a dirt substrate. It's also got this Pongeton float right here. I mean, it is what it is. For a quick little setup to throw some extra plants in. I could come down here. This light's already off, but if I'm lucky, I can show you the 2 new little additions here if they would go into the light. I thought I saw them in the light. Maybe not. Anyways, I got a pair of fancy guppies down there, and they look really cool. The females are really cool looking, and the male's got a great, you know, tail finish. So I mean, I guess this is just a teaser because I don't see him in there right now, or I don't see him in this part where you can kind of see where the light is. So I'm gonna have to save that for another video, and we'll just cruise over here to Mr. Mojo. His tank's looking golden, and I'm getting some new growth on this Anubias. Got a new leaf coming up right there. That one. That plant's been putting off several new leaves, and one right there too. So yeah, the Nubius is doing well in here. I mean, this plant looks super healthy. I mean, look at that. They're definitely growing well in here. Same thing with the moss. Check out the moss. Looking pretty good on that driftwood. And I think with the amount of snails in here, it's just an increased bioload, which, you know, their waste helps, you know, fertilize the plants. I mean, check out all this duckweed that's actually, you know, thriving in this tank because of, you know, the excess amount of waste. I got another Apongeton floater there. But yeah, I think that's why the plants are doing well, because, you know, the only waste in here is this little guy, you know. And sometimes it's barely enough to keep a cycle going. So I think it has a lot to do with the snails, the invertebrates that are in this tank living, you know, below the rocks. And they do a good job at, you know, getting all the pellets that, you know, the betta doesn't. Check out that root growth on the Anubias. I'd like it to just, you know, crawl all over this piece of driftwood like this root's about to do. I'm hoping to do the same for this one. I got this root crawling out over here. Just kind of want it to attach somewhat. All three of these pieces, my goal is to kind of get them to attach, you know, to the piece of driftwoods that they're growing on. But yeah, I want to keep going off before the lights go off here. Got the Braschatis. They're doing very well. Well, I tell you, this guy's doing very well. The other one just hasn't grown so much, and he kind of pays the price for not competing in size with this guy, because he chases him around a little bit. Like I said, this fish has lived his almost entire life up here, and it seems pretty happy, and it's growing steadily, just not like this other fish. And I initially thought that this was a female, and she was just kind of hanging up here and let him kind of have this territory. But when you see the difference in size, I'm not too sure what's going on, because this guy, you know, he's doing awesome, and you know, he rules the substrate, rules the, you know, bottom of this tank, and is growing well. And like I said, this other fish has just spent its whole life pretty much hiding up here. I mean, it feeds well, but it doesn't, you know, take advantage of all the tank. It just kind of stays up here for its life, you know, and tries to evade this other fish when he does kind of get curious and heads up there. I mean, to me, it doesn't even look like aggression. It doesn't even look like he's going after him. It seems like he's, you know, curious about this guy up here. And as soon as this little Brashati sees him coming, he kind of panics and takes off. I mean, I'm not sure if this is a female, or I have no idea right now. But I'm kind of just waiting for these guys to grow out and see what happens. I mean, he's doing well in this little habitat here in the shells. He utilizes the shells. He looks like a happy, healthy little fish in this tank. I just wish his buddy was as happy and healthy. Like I said, thought she was a female, and I thought they would just kind of pair up and do their thing in this tank, but I don't know, that doesn't seem too happy to me when you spend your life, you know, up here in the corner in the bubbles, you know, constantly evading. If that's what's going on in the Brashati tank. This Apongeton kind of just stopped on me. I think it's nutrient lock. I mean, look at those leaves crunched up. I don't know as far as that goes. The tank's finally, you know, cycled well, and the fish are doing well, but the plants, who knows? Like I said, I haven't got any new growth off this Apongeton, and those leaves to me say nutrient lock. But we'll let it go. I may dose this tank and see what happens. But I'm kind of just focused. Yeah, there he goes. trying to focus on the well-being of these fish right now rather than the plants. 'Cause I got enough planted tanks around here. If I have to take that whole Pongeton out of there, I will. See him? He's not chasing him. He's not being aggressive towards him. He's just kind of up there checking him out. And this other little guy's flipping, you know? Just that proximity. He's, you know, agitated and, you know, running away. It's like they almost can't hang together for whatever reason. Let's see what happens. See? The little one seems very nervous. Often I see him fleeing even more than that to the other side of the tank, and sometimes even down to the substrate to try to hide in the rocks. I'm going to keep rolling. This tank has nothing in it nowadays. It just has this pothos kind of grow out, which is doing really well because I got that you know, DYI prime bottle you know, bubbler filter, which is keeping this tank nice and crystal clear. And I might want to put something in there eventually. I think these roots coming down here look cool, you know, with this immersed growth, this pothos coming out of here. But who knows? It's just natural light and the light that it, you know, gets from these tanks. But I think it's a cool little setup. Like I said, I had my immersed growth in there trying to get that wisteria to grow out of the water. But now I just threw the pothos in there just to keep it rolling. I'm going to try one more time to check out these guys. Oh, you got a little bit of shade. No, I don't think so. Unless they duck down into this corner where you get the light from the betta tank, you're not likely to see them. And I just don't even want to bother turning the camera into this direction where they are. Yeah, they're up there. Yeah, a couple fancy guppies. I'll show them off in another video. They're cool, you know, and they're live bears, so if they start breeding, right on. Video's getting super long, so I just gotta be quick with the shrimpies. I'll come down here. I'm sure there's a ton of them down here. Yep, it's feeding time. I like when I catch them up on, you know, the plants feeding. Like you know, an algae wafer will get stuck in this vegetation, the anacarus here, the vegetation, and the shrimpies will just feed on it. Look at that ball of anacarus. I gotta do something about that. It started off as like this cool little roller coaster highway, and now it's just a ball of madness mess. And if the shrimp weren't doing so well in it, I'd yank it right out of there, because I mean, it's starting to just look, I mean, look at that. That's just a mess. But like I said, if they weren't, you know, utilizing it and all over it and really all about this, you know, anacarus roller coaster here, I rip it right out. But it's cool. It's cool habitat for them to kind of live in and hang on. And with the amount of shrimp I have in here, I need as much, you know, surface area and space for them to feed on, you know, the microfilm, and places where they can, you know, just hang out and feed out of the water column. But this video is getting super long. So I'm going to say thanks for watching, guys. I definitely appreciate it. I wish I could have showed off those fancy guppies. I haven't had guppies since I was a kid. And when I saw that pair in the fish store, I said, you know, I'm just going to grab them, throw them in my, you know, my 10-gallon planted tank and let that tank go. I was actually having trouble keeping a cycle in that tank because, you know, not enough waste. And wanted to throw something in there, so I got some guppies, and we'll see what happens with them. They look cool. I am digging this ram. Even the fact that he lives, you know, back there in his spot. I think that's going to be his spot, which is cool. They're cichlids. They're territorial. And if that is indeed a female in here, who knows? Maybe we'll see some breeding behavior with that school of Serpes that don't mess around. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. I'm going to say that's the fish room update tonight. It's definitely getting late, and I'm surprised this video actually made it through without the tanks going off, because it truly is about that time. But again, thanks for watching, guys. This tank's just going to have to be a teaser, a surprise video. Tune in next week for the unveiling of the pair of fancy guppies. Thanks, guys. Peace.